1 second, one grenade, one choice that would echo for generations. In the Mekong Delta of Vietnam, a young soldier named Paul Nash, just 21 years old, only 8 months into his service, made a decision that would define the very meaning of sacrifice. He gave his life so that his brothers in arms could live. And in that instant, a quiet boy from Kentucky became immortal. Paul Nash, known to everyone as Paulie, was born on November 3rd, 1947, in Whitesville, Kentucky. He was the second oldest of 7 children in the Nash household, raised by Ishmael and Stella Nash. Life in Whitesville was simple, but it was never easy. Paulie grew up fishing in the creeks, hunting in the woods, and working hard to help support his family. He pumped gas at the local filling station, raised tobacco with his brother, and spent countless hours tinkering with his beloved 1957 Chevy. His younger brothers remembered those moments fondly. Greasy hands, laughter, and the bond of family forged in sweat and hard work. He was also a Catholic altar boy, serving at St. Mary's High School, where faith and discipline shaped his character. Paulie wasn't loud, wasn't flashy. He was the kind of young man who carried responsibility quietly, who made others feel safe simply by being near. In May 1968, Paulie was drafted into the US Army. He left behind his Chevy, his family, and the familiar rhythms of Kentucky life. After basic training, he was assigned as a grenadier to Company B, 2nd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, 9th Infantry Division. By October, he was in Vietnam. Vietnam was a world away from Whitesville. The Mekong Delta was swampy, humid, and unforgiving, a place where every shadow could hide danger. Yet Paulie carried himself with quiet determination. He wasn't just fighting for a mission, he was fighting for the men beside him. Days before his final act of heroism, Paulie decorated a small Christmas tree in his bunker. He took a photo of it, wrote a letter to his family, and mailed it home. That letter would arrive after his death, a haunting reminder of the boy who thought of home even in the midst of war. December 29th, 1968, the Mekong Delta. Nash's company was on an ambush patrol when the Viet Cong struck. Gunfire erupted. Chaos exploded. Paulie was the first to return fire. Exposed, vulnerable, but fearless. He unleashed a barrage from his grenade launcher. His quick actions suppressed the enemy long enough for US artillery to adjust and rain fire on the attackers. His courage in that moment saved lives, but the night was far from over. Later, Nash and 3 comrades set up an overnight position along a narrow dike. Other squads spread out nearby. Midnight fell heavy, humid, and tense. 2 soldiers slept. Nash and another kept watch. Then, an explosion. An enemy grenade detonated in an adjacent position, wounding 2 men. Seconds later, another grenade landed directly at Nash's feet. In that split second, Paulie had a choice. He could have rolled down the other side of the dike, escaping the blast. He could have saved himself, but that wasn't who he was. Instead, he shouted a warning to his comrades, and then, without hesitation, he threw himself on the grenade. His body absorbed the explosion. His sacrifice saved the 3 men beside him. The blast silenced his life, but it amplified his legacy. His comrades weren't surprised. One friend later testified, "He was always quiet, but he made you feel good about yourself. He was the kind of guy you wanted next to you when you went on patrol. You trusted him. You knew he would do the right thing and cover you." When I heard what happened, I wasn't surprised. He was that kind of guy. For his devotion, Paulie's family received the Medal of Honor from President Richard Nixon on April 7th, 1970. They stood in the White House, surrounded by families of 20 other fallen Vietnam soldiers, each honored for their ultimate sacrifice. Paulie was laid to rest at St. Mary of the Woods Cemetery in his hometown, but his memory did not fade. In the 1990s, Whitesville erected a memorial in its city park. In 2004, a section of highway in Daviess County was named the PFC, Paulie Nash Memorial Highway. Veterans who had served with him attended the ceremony. ensuring his story lived on. Paulie's story is more than a tale of war. It is a lesson in humanity. He was a boy who loved fishing, cars, and family. He was a young man, drafted into a conflict far from home, and when faced with the ultimate test, he chose selflessness over survival. His sacrifice forces us to ask, what does it mean to live with courage? What does it mean to value others above yourself? Paulie's answer was clear. Courage is not loud. It is not boastful. It is quiet, steady, and ready when the moment comes. David Paul Nash's name may be etched in stone, on highways, and in medals, but his true legacy lives in the men he saved, in the family who remembers him, and in the lesson he left for all of us. That, in the face of danger, in the split second between life and death, the greatest act a human can perform is to give themselves so that others may live. Paulie Nash was more than a soldier. He was a brother, a son, a friend. And in one unforgettable moment, he became a symbol of sacrifice. His story reminds us that heroes are not born in headlines, they are born in choices. And sometimes, one choice can change everything.